before the NFL season started, I made a list predicting who was going to win every major award in the NFL season. Seeing that we're a little halfway over the season, oh shit, I made this late, we're over halfway. I figured I would follow up on this video. If you haven't seen this video, go watch it right here. I'm about to see how right, or more likely how wrong I was about my predictions for this NFL season. If you're interested in this topic in any way, subscribe to the channel. We'll make content that you love. We'll make content about the NFL season all year long, even to the Super Bowl, until we go to the NBA content. But with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into this. And the first award we're going to start off with is Defensive Rookie of the Year. And here's what I said in this video. With Defensive Rookie of the Year, and I'm going to choose Abdul Carter. Now, Defensive Rookie and Offensive Rookie of the Year is really hard to choose. Simply put, rookies are hard to predict. Mel Kiper has been doing this shit for 30 years, and he still doesn't have a grasp on it. What kind of cut does this nigga get in the barbershop? And so far this year, Abdul Carter has half a sack on the season. His expectations for me and most people who saw him play in college were pretty high, and he hasn't lived up to expectation, but it's only his rookie year. He has a lot of talent. Was I right or was I wrong? I was most definitely wrong. And at one point in the video, I even compare him to the Penn State player that allegedly hates players by taking off their clothes and then telling them they're bitch because this is a prison, referring to the locker room, of course. And while they're naked, this Penn State outside linebacker simulated a humping action while on top of the players he was hazing and placed his penis on and in their buttocks. This is all alleged, by the way, but to have these kind of allegations is crazy. And who's my new pick to win Defensive Rookie of the Year? It would be linebacker Jalen Walker on the Atlanta Falcons. He leads all rookies in tackles so far this year. I believe he leads all rookies in sacks, having 2 last week and having 3 sacks in total. He's probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, his stats aren't that impressive. I think this is kind of a weak rookie class, but if I'm looking at stats, I'm looking at impact, probably Jalen Walker, even though the Atlanta Falcons are actually dog shit terrible this season. But yeah, let's go Jalen Walker, hell yeah. And then next in this video, I tried to predict the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Next is Offensive Rookie of the Year. Ashton Jeanty will be Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he'll lead the whole NFL in rushing. I'm gonna co-sign that. Simply put, if you're a talented running back in college football, they translate impressively well to the NFL. Think about the Ezekiel Elliott's, think about the Saquon Barkley's, think about the Derrick Henrys, extraordinary running backs in college, and did crazy things within their first 3 years in the NFL. And I truthfully believe, coming out of college, out of all those guys I just named, behind Derrick Henry, Ashton Jeanty is the second most talented back. And not to mention, over the final month of the season for the Las Vegas Raiders, that offensive line was looking pretty damn good. Ashton Jeanty has played good this season. Yes, he's not going to lead the league in rushing like I predicted earlier in the season, but he will have 1,000 yards this year and probably 10 plus touchdowns. He's in contention for Offensive Rookie of the Year, but is he going to get it? Fuck no, because Emeka Egbuka exists, and Emeka Egbuka has been playing amazing all year. And once Mike Evans is done, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a wide receiver 1 on their hands. This dude has best player in the league potential. The combination of his height, the combination of his route running, and his catching ability is out of this world insane. And he's a playmaker. Through 8 games, he has 565 yards and 5 touchdowns. He has 2 100-yard plus games. He's been the wide receiver 1 basically all year for one of the best offenses in football in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He made Baker Mayfield really look like an MVP candidate. Not saying Baker Mayfield isn't a good quarterback, but having this dude as your wide receiver definitely helps to go along with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. While hell, you can really argue Ashton Jeanty will win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but if I'm going from impact in the game, if I'm going on impact on a winning team and slightly better stats, it's probably Emeka Egbuka. So my new prediction for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Emeka Egbuka. And next, I have my prediction for Comeback Player of the Year. Now on to Comeback Player of the Year. Trevor Lawrence. The prince that was promised has not worked out in the NFL, point blank, period. Simply put, this is one of the most hyped up quarterbacks in my lifetime, and he hasn't panned out. And I don't think it's particularly his fault either, because Trevor Lawrence has been dealt bad hand after bad hand after bad hand. And I believe this year, he's gonna have to fucking do something, my nigga, because his career stats are 13,815 yards, 69 touchdowns, and 46 interceptions. And not to mention, last year he only played 10 games and was 2-8 in them. And not to mention, their wide receiver stud they had last year, Brian Thomas Jr., who in 2024 caught 87 balls to the face, 1,282 yards, and 10 touchdowns in his rookie season. So this Disney princess looking fuck will have some people to throw it to this year. Trevor Lawrence is so fucking mid that it really hurt. Trevor Lawrence should be seen as a bust because he has has only 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and we're going into what, year 6 of the Trevor Lawrence experiment? He only has a 79 QBR and 1,800 passing yards. He's not top 10 in any quarterback stat, or has he ever been top 10 in any quarterback stat ever? Sure, he's had bad offensive coordinators, sure he's had bad coaches, sure he's down in Jacksonville, but Jesus Christ, man, one good year, wasn't even an all-pro year, one good year 5 years ago should not carry him to a big contract. I think he's about to be a backup quarterback here soon, but there's going to be multiple teams to give him a chance. But what I'm trying to say is not to hate on him. He's not the comeback player of the year. It's Dak Prescott. I almost want to fucking puke from complimenting it. Now, I hate the Cowboys, you hate the Cowboys, we all hate the Cowboys. It's what make the world go around. And it gets a fuck ton of views. But can we admit Dak Prescott's at least a good quarterback? One of my most popular videos I made when I was literally like 15 or 14 was hating on Dak Prescott. But if you compare him to a lot of other quarterbacks, he could be worse. He might not show up in the big moments like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, etc. But he's a tier below him. He's still consistently a top 10 quarterback in the league. And that's fine to admit. But also at the same time, Cowboys fans, don't put him on Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Joe Burrow level. That's just not the case or true at all. But with that being said, Dak Prescott's putting up big numbers once again this year. Last year, he had a season-ending injury, but this year, he's balling out. So far this year, he has 2,300 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, to only 6 interceptions on 98.8 passer rating, leading one of the best offenses in the league, having George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. It's just the defense fucking sucks, bro. If you put this Dak Prescott season in any of Trevor Lawrence's seasons, probably the best season of Trevor Lawrence's career. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you just because I do hate the Cowboys a lot and say Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. He's really not. Dak Prescott's a top 10 quarterback. Dak Prescott's a top 3 Cowboys quarterback of all time. I'd take him over Troy Aikman. But yeah, this year my comeback player of the year is Dak Prescott. Next in this video, I predicted defensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year, Aiden Hutchinson. Simply put, last year, I think he would have had a case for defensive player of the year because in the 5 games he started, he registered 7.5 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss, and 19 combined tackles. If he triples his stats, he would have had a 21 sack campaign, and he would have had a minimum 15 sacks last year if he played through the season. But sadly, he got injured, and I think Aiden Hutchinson's going to come out hungry this year. Before he got injured, he led the NFL in sacks, pressures, and pass rush win rate. He won Defensive Player of the Month honors in September and had a 4-sack game before he got injured. Aiden Hutchinson just signed a massive contract for the Detroit Lions. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league. This one in Offensive Rookie of the Year, I wouldn't say I'm completely wrong because Ashton Jeanty can still make a push to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Aiden Hutchinson is having a good enough season to make a push at the end of the season to be Defensive Player of the Year. But as of now, would I say he's the Defensive Player of the Year? I would probably say no. Is he top 5 for it? I do think so. That shit rhymed. I'm a black Dr. Seuss for it. But so far this year, the best defensive player in the world and the Defensive Player of the Year are the same people, Myles Garrett. While I had Aiden Hutchinson winning Defensive Player of the Year, there was no doubt in my mind the better defensive player was Myles Garrett, as he's been for the past 5 seasons. In 8 games, Myles Garrett has 10 sacks, making this the 8th year straight he's had 10 plus sacks in a season. He might be the most prolific pass rusher ever by the time his career ends, if the streak never ends. You can really already argue he's one of the 10 greatest defensive players of all time, and he just came off a week where he had 5 sacks in a game. And so far this year, he also has 15 tackles for a loss, and he will probably be a first-team All-Pro for the 3rd straight season in a row, and he will win his 2nd Defensive Player of the Year this season. So was I right? I wouldn't say I was too wrong. Same with Offensive Rookie of the Year, like I said. Aiden Hutchinson can still win, but for now, it's Myles Garrett. Next in this video, I predicted Offensive Player of the Year. This is what I said. And my 2025 Offensive Player of the Year is Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs last year placed top 5 in rushing and led the whole league in rushing touchdowns with 16. And not to mention, he wasn't even necessarily the feature back all year. He's going to have a way more expanded role this year for the Detroit Lions. And who knows, if he hits that 1,700-yard mark and he gets 12 plus touchdowns, I think he can win Offensive Player of the Year. Not to mention, Offensive Player of the Year loves a running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, and Jahmyr Gibbs is perfect for that. Because Offensive Player of the Year, 29 of the last 51 times went to an NFL running back. Simply put, in my opinion, if Jahmyr Gibbs stays healthy, they give him a bigger workload, and he's just as good as last season. He's an easy candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going to say he's going to win it. Jahmyr Gibbs, man. He's not having a bad year. He'll probably have his second 1,000-yard rushing season. But is he going to be Offensive Player of the Year like I I expected? No. He is having a down year compared to last year, still splitting carries with David Montgomery. But like I said, he's still putting up numbers. He's going to have 1,000 yards. But Offensive Player of the Year? Probably not. Who's going to win Offensive Player of the Year? Jackson Smith-Njigba. I can almost guarantee this. He's having a monster season. He has 6 100-yard receiving games so far this year. He leads the league in receiving yards. He has 58 receptions, and he's making this Seahawks team look like one of the best offenses held teams in the NFL right now. They're one of the few elite teams in the NFL this season, considering all the elite teams have a baffling, stupid loss on their schedule. Against Washington, he had 129. Against Houston, he had 123 and a touchdown. Against Jacksonville, 162 and a touchdown. Against Tampa Bay, 132 and a touchdown. Against San Francisco, 124. Against Pittsburgh, 103. New Orleans, 96. And Arizona, 79. Absolutely ridiculous numbers. He's the best wide receiver this season so far. I'm not going to go as far as say he's the best wide receiver in the league, because Justin Jefferson's going to have that for me for a while. The Offensive Player of the Year this year, it's Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now we're getting into the shit. Here's my MVP prediction from before the season started. Keyword, before the season started. Oh, Burrow. I don't really like the Cincinnati Bengals, but I'm a lifetime Chiefs fan, so like, no shit. But what Joe Burrow did last season could have won him an MVP if he didn't play for the Cincinnati Bengals. If Joe Burrow won 11 games last season, he's without a doubt the MVP of the league. In all sense of the word, he was the most valuable to his team winning, more than Josh Allen last year and more than Lamar Jackson last year. Real shit. Even though his team didn't win, fuck shit. And not to mention, Joe Burrow last year led the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns with 4,918 passing yards and 43 touchdown passes. Pro Football Focus also named him number 1 in total pass grade last year and had a low 1.3% interception rate, ranked top 5 in the whole league. And not to mention, Lamar Jackson's won it, Josh Allen's won it, Patrick Mahomes has won it. They're gonna want to do something different this year. Real shit. And the last quarterback of the Big Four is Joe Burrow that hasn't won an MVP. Joe Burrow, bro. They need to get you out of Cincinnati. You're wasting your talent over in Cincinnati. I'm just going to tell you that. This Cincinnati Bengals front office, since they went to the Super Bowl, they had 2 things to work on. Get a good defense and build that offensive line. And those things, half a decade later, still fucking suck. Man, but anywho, that's enough on Joe Burrow. My MVP this season so far is Patrick Mahomes. Well, he just had his worst game so far this season. If we're going to do what we did last year and call Josh Allen the most valuable player to his team winning, it's Patrick Mahomes. This Chiefs team isn't a playoff team without Patrick Mahomes. He leads the whole league in touchdowns. He's number 2 in passing touchdowns. He's playing a new version of himself as more of a scrambling quarterback. He does it all for this Kansas City team. I can't say enough about him. He's having another MVP season, something we haven't seen in 2 years, and I do believe he's going to win his 3rd MVP. And I do believe the Chiefs will go back to the Super Bowl. Not much of a hot take, but a lot of people make it seem like it is. Alright, y'all, so we'll be picking this video back up at the end of the season to see how we did with the actual award show. We're going to be live reacting to it. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do that, but I said it, so we might. We'll see what we get right and wrong. But with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate the support. Peace.